Hello, my friends. I missed y'all. It was busy last week. And then we traveled here. We're in New York. And it's Feral Monday. I'm still going to do kind of a spicy look, but I do have a dinner meeting tonight. So I'm not going to be doing blue duochrome glitter purple ombre. Y'all know how I get. The one thing I'm going to tell you, when you come here, you never feel pressure to buy things, okay? Never. I'm saying that because I was walking past the store. There's a lot of stuff available here in New York too easily. And I wanted to try this. I don't even want to, please, I feel like I need to apologize. I'm just going to show you. I bought that Tom Ford foundation. I wanted to try it. I wanted to see what the science was behind it. I'm going to research it more, but I swatched it. And the color was so perfect. That's one of the reasons I bought it. Had I not had a shade that was just absolutely perfect, I would not have. But I do want to try it, okay? I want to see, because I've seen a few people try it and they absolutely love it. But I know that we're all different. But again, just never feel any pressure here. If this does look beautiful, just so you know this might help you feel better. Estee Lauder owns Tom Ford Beauty. Keep that in mind. So this could be basically maybe a little bit more, just a little bit more elevated version of Double Wear, but we shall see. Again, do not come here and feel you have to buy everything. This is more of a science project. So I want to do, if you see me reaching, I've got a little bit of my makeup behind me. So I wanted to do a really big wing. I feel like I haven't done a huge wing in forever. So I'm going to keep my eyeshadow pretty minimal. And I'm gonna kind of match it to my skin tone a little bit. See how that's just my skin tone, just a little bit warmer, just a hair. And then I'm gonna take an E28. Ooh, there's Sheila. I was about to start screaming. And I used this brush yesterday, so I want to make sure I don't have anything on it. And instead of swiping, I really want to keep the coverage and the color true. So I'm going to tap to kind of move it around lightly. It's going to transition it, but it's also going to help it be really thin across the eye without losing the coverage of it. So one of the reasons I'm here is I'm going to go live with a very special guest tomorrow. I'll let you know all the details in the morning. I'll post it on my story. I'm so excited. Really looking forward to that. It's been really nice. The weather's been beautiful since we've been here. Biddy and I have just been walking around, getting in some nice exercise, looking at stuff. Mostly looking at people's dogs. That's literally all I do. I'll run around asking, can I pet that dog? I really do. So I brought this palette. It's a little big to travel with, but I've really been liking it. So I'm going to take this shade and I'm just going to brighten up the lid using the side of the brush to really pack it on. Don't worry about building it up. It's never a bad idea to build. Nice. And then I'm going to take some on my brow bone. Same thing over here. What have y'all been up to? Keep packing that, and then I'm going to take the rest and just smooth it here. And then I love this shade right here to contour the eye. I feel like this would be a good contour shade in general. And I also feel that way because it's such a big pan that it'd be easier to get a bigger brush into. And I'm just going to add a little bit of depth through here. Not all the way over, just on the outer part of the socket. So in more of my makeup journeys in New York, there was a Sephora. Naturally, I had to go in. And I discovered this Sephora collection liner. And I'd never tried it. I used it yesterday and I really liked it. It wore beautifully and we've been walking. We walked over 10 miles yesterday. I don't want to talk about it. So make sure you shake this for at least 40 to 60 seconds. Anytime you hear anything that has a little ball in there like that, it needs to be shaken. So I'm just going to get wild. And I want a really big wing, but normally I do start right here where my eye separates, and I have a lot of videos on hooded eye wing liner tutorials. So if you'll search hooded eyes rose sired on TikTok, because unfortunately TikTok's really easy to search now, and IG isn't, but search that and then you'll get more on that. And I think I even have some on my saved highlights. But again, I'm going for mega very Lana Del Rey wing today. And something else I want you to never be afraid of is see how this really is extending really far. I still want it really big, but if you can take your mess ups to the outer part of the eye, that's the easier part to fix. What I mean by that is if we can just be very fluid in every motion through here, that's better. Notice that I try to do touch, pull, but over here, this is where we can kind of just get messy, because underneath here, anything underneath there is so easy to fix. And that's one of the reasons that I started doing my eyes first as opposed to my base. I also don't like to sit in base that long. I want my base to be as fresh as possible when I walk out the door. Now, this is what I'm talking about. And now this level of wing might not be for everyone, but this is the vibe I'm after this evening. I'm going to a little restaurant. I'm gonna have a little spicy dinner. So I want to look a little bit more wild tonight. But everything underneath here, so easy to fix. And I'm just using my micellar water on my C30. And I'll just do this till I get a really nice shape. I'm gonna do a more cat eye shaped lash. These are full moon. Okay, just let them get acquainted, like I always say. They gotta warm up to each other. Sneeze, I just snuzzed. Like to throw these lashes off of this tall building I'm staying in. Lord have mercy, I need to recover for a second. All right, so I had an extra little light, but no. But this is good enough. Give it a good shake. So I got the soft matte one. There's another formula, but I wanted to try this one. And then, as always, I like to smooth it out. Smells like the other Tom Ford foundations. It's a very light scent. It's not a heavy scent. Don't think that. But it's a very herbal scent. That's a good way to put it. That's a good description, Rose. So I'm going to take this. And I'm not going to bring it down my chest because I'm wearing a dress that comes right there. So I'm not even going to worry about that. Honestly, I mean, it's beautiful. But it already just doesn't look any different than my other foundations. Will I wear it? Yes. I'm not going to return it. I keep things to kind of reference. Like now I want to do one side Estee Lauder Double Wear, one side this. So I do it and I keep things so we can really see what's going on here. I think we can all breathe a collective sigh. We don't have to all go buy this foundation. But I'm excited to even compare it to all the rest of my high-end foundations. But you know what I am liking about it? I don't think I even really want to set parts of it. So I like that. And it definitely gives a blurring effect. Now let's definitely say that, but a lot of foundations do. Anything that has some powder in it, it's going to give you a nice blur. I did a face mask and it's still a little bit of residue left. Okay, so in case you're wondering what I'm scraping at like a squirrel. And then I have some just here on the back of my hand. I'm gonna put a little extra here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take the foundation. I'm taking from over this way because it's already nice and even there, and I'm just gonna take it in the center here around my brows. Don't be looking at this brush. You better mind your business. Anyways, so I wanted to try the foundation with y'all. I haven't tried it. We tried it together, but I did buy something else from Tom Ford, and apparently it's being discontinued. We're gonna use it here, but that I actually did love. Okay, honestly, the way that it feels on the skin, it feels like Tupperware to me. That's exactly what it feels like. I told y'all. We're gonna compare, even the way it dries down. It's interesting. I got to compare ingredients, but right off the bat, I do feel that. Now, there was another thing I purchased at Tom Ford Beauty, and this I was told it's being discontinued. This I hadn't tried yet. I wanted to try this with y'all, but I got excited and I wanted to try the other thing, and I'm about to show you what it is. Okay, so the product I'm talking about is this corrector in pink. I got shade medium too, just in case. And of course, it's being discontinued. The formula is fantastic. It's wildly pigmented. We're about to use it, but like I said, I'd used that before and I loved it. But if you already have a pink corrector, it's not revolutionary. Please don't feel pressured to go buy this wildly spicy price thing. But did I love it? Absolutely. And I liked how thin it was. So if it's something that you're like, oh, maybe I could grab that, yes, I do recommend it. But if you can't, you probably already have it. So I did get their concealer. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. And the reason I'm doing a little bit is because I mix it with this shade. I'm going to have both listed here. I mix it with the pink to really make it my shade and to brighten. It's good. So now I'm just going to take my brush and mix all of this together. And I wore this yesterday. And I wore it for about 5 hours. I didn't wear it for 8, but the 5 hours, it looked like I just applied it. Ooh, these little hairs. And then just keep melting it together. And it's so perfect. And then I'll just use whatever and then just go in the center. Just to highlight a little bit. Now before I powder, I like to use my bronzer. So I'm just gonna go a little boop, 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 boop of that. And then the reason I do this on top of the wet foundation is because the way that it lays down, it'll lay down really evenly like a cream as long as you don't swipe. Swipe or no swiping. It's what we always think of when I say that, but it's so important. So as long as you're pressing, you're good to go. And this is 101. Yes. Making sure I grab the right one, the Kiko Milano one. And then I already have my Kiko Milano lip picked out. I'm so excited. Tag it, I'm sorry. So it's the, which one is it? I know it's the shade, but it's the Radiant Touch bronzing powder. And another reason, while I have you here, I like to do this before I use any powder, is because I can melt in the edges with my foundation brush again. Once you set and you go over, you do run the risk of, even with a blender, you run the risk of kind of messing things up. But at this state, you can melt everything together still, and it just looks so good. Available, I haven't checked, do forgive me, but these two blush shades from ColourPop, they're from the Beauty and the Beast collection. This shade as a bronzer transition, or just bronzer by itself because it's so red, but it's a bronzer. It's a blush, but it's a bronzer. And then this shade with it, which is what I'm about to put on. I'm still going to use the C40 with this one. And that's going to go a little bit above. It's so pretty. I've been wearing it nonstop since I got it. It just adds the perfect amount of red. And I feel like it's so pretty for summer, because in the summertime, most of our skin, it wants to turn a little bit red because we're out in the sun. Well, we should be wearing our SPF, but we're mimicking that. But you get the idea. Now let's grab Mrs. Potts. That's the blush, which I already tagged it. And I'm just gonna apply it more on the side of my face, but higher on the cheekbone. Less on the apple towards the front, just more on the cheekbone, just for some lift. It's so pretty. This blush just glows. And then a little bit here. And then my nose. Now we're gonna set with some powder. And I have my Givenchy all queued up right here. Let's do a quick tap. I don't know what we've been doing. Honestly, that stuff really doesn't move. There we go. I should have wiped my face better. I did one of those. What was the mask? Let me go get it. I'll get a screenshot for you, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a warning. I like the mask, but I should have done it at night. This is the mask that I'm talking about. Again, so good, but it's left kind of a residue on my skin. So if you see me kind of like dusting, I'm dusting off like a rubbery substance off of my face. This is basically what I look like right now. But it's okay. It's not gonna mess up my makeup. We don't have to redo it because it's not really, like I said, it's not really messing with my makeup, but it's just a little annoying. So do this at night. Don't do as I did and do it before makeup. Okay, again, my Givenchy powder on my Rosy Beauty The Setting Puff. I'm setting the center. Look, I got this too. I'm sorry, I got a lot. See, I don't go a lot of places, and then I get out of my house and then I decide that I have to buy everything. Let me show you the powder I got. Well, I buy makeup. I don't really buy other things. But y'all know I do flaunt my success a little with my Danone coffee mugs. I love it. I miss drinking out of it. But I bought this, the Hourglass powder. Y'all wanted to see what this is all about. So let's grab this. And I'm just gonna set the really wet areas. I'm not really gonna set over here because that's nice and set with the bronzer. I'm gonna do one tap. Love the way that it picks up. And you're wondering, what the heck? Ooh. The way that it picks up really even matters how the brush is going to place it. So if it was pressed really hard in here, it wouldn't have that same effect. That looks nice. And I also feel like it's kind of correcting that mask that I just showed you. It's kind of just pushing it in and filling in any gaps. It's not very pigmented, but that's not what I want. It's just very silky. I'm going to take a fluffy brush. I'm going to grab, remember this contour shade earlier? I'm just going to contour under here. And I'm pressing, that way I don't fluff it into my eye, into my contact. Mess up around there. Nice. So I want my lipstick, here, you're a little crooked there. So I want my lipstick to absolutely stay. I'm going to wear one of these. I cannot get this to move. Wait. Let me give you a couple tips on this. So I'm going to grab Sheila, and I've had my lip, you know, the Ula one that I wear, the lip treatment that I always wear. Had that on. You don't want to put it on top of that, okay? And you also want to lightly exfoliate with a rag. Because I am so hydrated, I'll have gooiness. Ew. So now we're going to put our lipstick on. I'm going to do a lip liner too. It wears the same with a lip liner. As long as you put the lip liner on with this as it's drying. And this is the lip that I have worn like 3 days in a row. It lasts 12 hours. 12 hours. I did a wear test. You could just search my name, Kiko Milano lipstick, wear test on TikTok. Okay. And then my Rosy Brown, which by the way, this is a dupe. This exact shade is a dupe for that really famous nude brun from Chanel. Oh, I love this lip. And then I try not to let my lips touch. Just keep shading. And really quickly, while I'm finishing up my lip liner, one of you just asked how the Hourglass compares to the Laura Mercier pressed powder. That is a really good question. Remember how I mentioned how it picks up on the brush? I feel that the Laura Mercier was pressed so hard, almost no product would pick up on the brush. So I'm already all for the Hourglass one. Now we're gonna do the top lip the same way. And y'all, I can eat anything. You can eat greasy food with this and it does not move. And you can layer it up, just layer it to get more pigmentation. Layer it before it dries. Like back to back layering. Once it's set, like down here, we can't mess with it anymore. Oh no, my Octobuddy thing. I knew it was trying to betray me. Get on there, I'm fighting with the octopus here. Now we're gonna top it with the little glossy topper, which by the way, if you still haven't tried these, this feels so comfortable. It's not sticky at all. But I do like to barely get the corners of my mouth. Oh my gosh, this lip is just my favorite. I can't stop wearing it. Y'all are gonna be sick of it. But it is really easy though when you're traveling because I don't want to reapply. I just want to. Oh, and at this stage you can rub your lips together. It ain't going nowhere. So pretty. Okay, let me take a dry spoolie. Just make sure that we scrape off any mascara bits now that might have gotten underneath here. Once they're dry, you can just take a clean dry spoolie, scrape them away. And I think I want an inner corner highlight. So do you know who got me to wear highlight again? It was Natasha Denona. I absolutely love this, and then I use it on my C40. By the way, we have a nice little bundle. I'll get that for you. This brush is included in it. And tell me that just doesn't actually look like light hitting there. No texture. I am so anti-highlighter because I just don't want to add texture, and these just don't. And then if you're really just concerned about it, just take your finger, lightly press over it. I didn't even have to do that, but just in case. Again, we're going to pick it up on our C40 like that. Short end here. I like to start at the iris. It's actually pretty easy. The end of the iris, and just pull. And then I'm also going to take some on my E27. It just actually looks real. And then I'm going to grab some on my E27 here, the same highlighter, and just give it a nice little, I'm telling you, it looks like I'm just applying light. It's a really nice formula. It's different. I feel like it's very different than what we're used to. The way that it just sits on the skin, it's truly like glass. This feels like how I used to do my makeup, and I just absolutely love it. The skin looks really nice. Again, I feel like it would look like that with double wear, but it's more about the highlighter. I really do like the highlighter. I will say that the foundation isn't too matte, which I thought it might be too matte, but it isn't too matte. But again, I could do the same with double wear. But if you do think that you might want to add this to your collection, do I like it? Absolutely. I just don't want you to feel any pressure. No pressure here. It's just about having fun with makeup. Now I'm going to go flap this wing all around New York City. All right, my friends, I got to go just because I got to charge my phone and I can't get it to reach over here to charge it at the same time. And then I got to post later and I got to make sure I'm phone charged and I'm walking around. I love you all with all of my heart. Tomorrow I'm not going to do a story, but I'm going to do a live. And again, I will let you know the time. And then it'll be saved to my page as well, so you don't miss that in case you want to watch it later. All right, I love you with all of my heart, and I will see you tomorrow. Actually, I'll see you in the comments tonight.